I'm Danny Gurry, and you've tuned in to Good Morning Frederick. It's a podcast, well, about Frederick. Everything, the people, the businesses, the nonprofits, and the cool stuff. So sit back, relax, and enjoy Good Morning Frederick.
Hi, it's Steve Sorrell with GTM Architects, and you're watching Good Morning Frederick.
Good morning, Frederick. Today is, what is it? It's Wednesday. It is Wednesday, March 19th, and I am your host, Danny Gurry. Want to say good morning to Tara Flannery. Good morning to you, my friend. I hope you're having a wonderful morning so far. And of course, Mama Cone in lovely South Carolina. She comes back this weekend, and be glad to have her back up here, but she's enjoying herself down there, going to parties, being social as she always is. I love it. Love it so much. And, gotta figure out moving my sister up here this summer, and got a lot of work to do before that happens. All right, let's see what we're doing on today's show. Of course, we're going to have a morning roundup with Bob Miller and Chris Michaels from WFMD's Morning News Express. I'm going to give you a highlight of the events happening in and around Frederick. I tell you, I am invited to things, and I'm like, there's like 3 other things. It's just unbelievable with the number of events. You could potentially go 24/7. Well, maybe not 24/7. Business hours for sure. You could be busy, and it could be your full-time gig, just going from one event to another. But I love it about this town. You could never be bored. For an introvert like me, though, sometimes it is tough to go to a lot of events, especially if I'm not working them. So, all right. And we're going to chat with Amy Goldsmith from Kindred Nutrition and Kinetics. Such an interesting conversation. She does help athletes kind of use nutrition to build strength and be elite. But they also, of course, handle people who may have an eating disorder or other nutritional needs. And it's really a hot topic right now with our food and what it should be able to do for our bodies. Then we talk with Diane Foland, our friend from FFOCAS, friends of our Frederick County Animal Shelter. They have a bingo coming up, which pays $200 per game. That's a pretty big payout. So if you like bingo, you're going to want to hear about that. We'll talk about it happening in Frederick, and then she's going to talk about it in detail a little bit later. All right, we got the show in podcast form. Of course, you can find us on most of the major platforms, and we are still looking for subscribers, so please share the show. If you can share it right now on some local groups, maybe your local neighborhood page or something like that, we would love to spread the word about a lot of our businesses and nonprofits that we talk about. That's the whole point, right? So it is to spread the word about a lot of these great places here in Frederick. All right, buy the Good Morning Frederick merch in March, and you'll get the doggies out to more people. All proceeds of Good Morning Frederick merchandise, both online and in store, will benefit Wags for Hope. Pet therapy is good for the soul. All right, let's get this show started. Thank you to our show sponsor, Rita's Italian Ice and Frozen Custard of Frederick. Open daily, noon to 9 p.m. You can also get a hot pretzel or iced coffee along with that gelati, or maybe even a Reese's Concrete. That looks amazing. It's like a thick shake whipped thing. It looks really, really good. Of course, I would have it without the chocolate. Maybe we can get some white Reese's non-chocolate ones in there. If you can't get to Rita's, though, they can come to you. Grubhub, DoorDash, and Uber Eats. You can find them. You want to download their app, too, for you get a lot of special offers and freebies if you visit often enough this season. And then Rita's also has a mobile unit that can come to your event. You can reach out to them about that. Mark your calendar tomorrow, first day of spring, noon to 9 p.m., free ice. No reason not to have Rita's, 538 West South Street. All right, let's see what is happening in our morning roundup. Morning Roundup is sponsored by Auto Trim Design of Mid-Maryland. Window tinting, paint protection film, ceramic coating, vinyl wraps like on the Good Morning Frederick car. Also, customized leather upholstered car seats. They can take care of all your aftermarket enhancements. Auto Trim Design of Mid-Maryland, accessories for any lifestyle. Find them on Urbana Pike or at autotrim-md.com. Oh, yes, Auto Trim. My car has got to be washed. Bob, I am terrified of washing the car now that I have that wrap on it because I don't want to ruin it. And so I don't think I can use the convenience. She told me not to go through those drive-through car washes. So I'm trying to figure out what I'm going to do.
What about the ones that just spray the water as opposed to
I did that when it was,
stuff?
After the snow and I got all that salt on my car. I did do that. I just find, you want to rub it. And I don't know if I should use one of those brushes. I panic about I don't want to scratch it all up. So.
Well, I don't. You've got a lot invested in there, and you want to make sure that the brand is bright and ready to go. So I can't answer that one. I would. I
know.
I would take it to somebody maybe who does a hand wash.
My hair. I don't know what's happening, but I got to talk to her soon about what she recommends. I'll probably have to go back to old school and hand wash it myself.
There you go. Or that's why you have kids.
Yeah,
whether they're adult or not, go wash the car. Go wash the car.
Hey, I have a question for you. I was going to put this out on TikTok, and I'd love to know what our viewers think. You have adult children. Are both your kids married?
No.
Okay.
Aaron's married. Brian is not, but Brian is in a relationship right now, and we're hoping eventually one day that he's hip and cool, so I don't know if they're going to go down that road or not. I think they will, but I'm not sure yet.
That wasn't part of the discussion. But with Aaron, when she got married, were you able to invite some of your friends to the wedding?
Well, since we were paying for it, yes.
Yeah.
I don't think we invited that many, but there were family friends that were invited. Now, the real one is that your brother was in my wedding, and we had over 300 people at my wedding. Yeah. We invited. I was doing radio, but I was doing something else, and I had a lot of people who called upon me and stuff that we invited to the wedding. It was a big party. And I'm looking back over the list because, we have seen it since then. I'm like, who are these people? And then you even look at the pictures and you're like, I know them from somewhere. I just don't know who they are anymore. But
Yeah, and that's fair enough. My son is engaged, and they're being very well. We're having an engagement party. They got engaged in August. They've decided to have an engagement party. We're doing that in April. But I've been told I can't invite my friends who know him, have known him since he was born. And I only wanted to invite like 5 couples, 10 people, because I've said, people you invite to your engagement party should be invited to your wedding. And I've been told no.
Is that because of, reasons that they don't want a lot of people, or or is it money? You could always go, look, I want to invite them. I'll pay for them, whatever that cost is going to be. But I want them to enjoy this day with us and you. That's a tough one because you're not. I'm trying to make them
understand that, and it's very frustrating. We're actually in a little bit of a tiff right now, and I cannot get him to understand my perspective, which is tough because I'm like, he's also not invited. I can't even believe I'm saying this publicly. He has not invited my little sister, who lives in South Carolina, or my brother, who lives in Ohio. I understand that they probably aren't coming, but they should be invited because they're part of the immediate family.
Yeah.
It's very, very frustrating. And he's, they're young, and I get it. They want people they are close to, but they don't understand that the people I would invite consider them close to my son and his girlfriend.
Aunts and uncles kind of, I don't know. There's been times I haven't been invited to weddings, that aren't, we're not that close. Okay. So I would understand that. But I mean, if they're your kids and they're not, aunts and uncles aren't coming, that's a tough one. It sounds like there's pressure from maybe the other side of the family to keep it low. But the other thing is you can at least get maybe $100 check or $50 check or something. Start off, or you just go, okay, since we're doing the engagement party, since we're doing that part of it, then they're all going to be invited and we're going to have big old time. I don't know.
My feeling is you're going to spend a lot of money for a party. I want everybody there, right? Like I get, like, we haven't even had the discussion yet about who is paying for the wedding. They have not even come up with any of that yet, which I keep saying I need to understand this because I was older when I got married. So Ash and I paid for a majority of our stuff, but my parents kicked in for, they paid for all the flowers, and, it was our wedding was pretty cheap in the day. I mean, I think we may have spent $10,000 and had 100 people, but maybe a little bit over. But, it just, I don't understand. I told him I'm disappointed and I'm hurt. And I told him, you are going to have to explain to people when they, it's going to hurt people's feelings, I think.
Well, I mean, it's easily justified, and Chris is joining the conversation. It's easily justified by them, and just like, look, we didn't have the venue space, we didn't have the money, and this was just, our very close friends and family. That's who we wanted there, But when we did this, when Aaron got married, it was, hey, these people were part of your life for a very long time. It wasn't like really overblown. It wasn't like, hey, I knew them from work or anything like that. These were people that were invested in their lives. And and if they want to be there, they should have the opportunity to say yes or no. That's a tough one, Danny. And then you get into the family dynamics, and you don't want to have you and your son on the wrong end of that on it's supposed to be a happy day when you can stand there, you give him a kiss, and you go, my brother's not here. Let me take a picture of it for him and kind of rub it in his face a little bit.
With my brother, I can handle it. But, it's an interesting, I did not think that this, especially with, I love to throw parties. I throw parties all the time. I do events for a living, basically. I love this. I love kind of, doing all this stuff. And, I was told to stand down a while ago because I was finding these great things on TikTok and I was sending them ideas because it was stuff that I didn't have. So I've not given any untold advice. Then they came and they said that I could throw them the engagement party, which I was grateful to do. And I'm happy to do it. But then I was told I can't invite anybody that have known them since my son, since he was born. So whether Cooper is close with them or not shouldn't be the factor, I don't think. But that's just me, I guess. Maybe I'm just out of touch.
I will say one thing, and I'll let Chris jump in, and that was a very good friend of of mine and Chris's, and probably you as well. Told his daughter, he said, "Look, this is about what we think we would spend on your wedding." It was a fairly large sum of money, and he said, "I'd much rather just hand you a check. You get whatever you want, do something simple, and then we'll throw you a party. But then take that money that would we for one day of a big party and put it down on a house.
100%.
And that's what she did. And he said, we'll still throw you a big party and we'll have a big, after thing, and you invite whoever you want and we'll do that. Won't cost me as much money.
Yeah, absolutely.
That was a good idea.
Once you say you're doing a wedding, every venue, it's 10 times what it would be if you just say I'm having a party. I mean, for sure, 100%. Yeah. And again, if he had said, look, we're going to pay for this wedding, it's about the money, then I would have easily said, I am happy to foot the bill for the people. And again, it's only 10. And who knows if they could even come. It's just really getting the invite. So anyway, we'll I don't know. Well,
I really got to start coming here on time because I always get in the middle of conversations, never know what the heck anybody's talking about. But I think I have an idea of bits and pieces. I will say this, okay? My wedding with me and my wife was a very romantic wedding. All right. We got married at the courthouse under the beautiful tree where they used to hang people in the 1700s and 1800s. And on top of that, when we went into the courthouse, I had my Jet shirt on. The reason why I had my Jet shirt on is because it had to do with my engagement, of how I asked her to marry me. I'll get into that maybe another day. But we went inside to the courthouse, and whoever that person was, it wasn't a priest, obviously. The person there says to me, would you like a religious wedding or a non-religious wedding? And I turned to her, I says, of course, this is a classy chick over here. Let's do a religious one. So it's, in the viewing of God. So anyway, I say that to say this. 21 years later, we're still married. Now, I know somebody who their parents spent a lot of money on their wedding, flew tons of people out to Jamaica or one of those other places. I don't know, one of those other countries out there. And 6 months later, they got divorced.
Yeah, look, for me, it is not it. We actually we want them to do what they want to do. I don't care what the wedding looks like, how it is. My whole thing is there are 2 times in people's lives that you get everybody together. One's your wedding, one is your funeral. And it's a very awkward situation because people aren't going to ask him why they're not invited. They're going to ask me why they aren't invited, right? And if it is, hey, it is their closest friends and family, well, that's going to make people feel like crap. And I am a people pleaser. So it's very hard for me. I want to shelter people's feelings and I want to understand the reasoning. He really has never come. All he said is we want our close friends and family to be there.
And how old is he?
21.
Yeah, that's it. That's all you have to say. Let it be that and just say, look, here's the deal. I want to throw you a party so all these people can come. And then you just go, it really is going to be an intimate ceremony. Close friends and family, they're here. They understand how much I love you. You got to just kind of go, you got to go with me on the party. Let's have a party. We'll do barbecue. We'll do a fish fry, whatever it is. But I've got to invite at least this many people. I'm trying to think of how many people Erin had. She was probably under 100. She was probably like 80 people total that we had to pay for.
Our wedding, Ash and I's wedding was 105 people. It was great. I loved our wedding. I loved it. It was a great day. Again, it is about, and I get, I keep trying to put myself in their shoes and say, it is your day. You can decide whatever you want to do. Again, I think they're just not thinking about anything beyond what they're thinking about. They didn't even let my sister invite the guy she lives with, or they didn't give her a +1 or give her an indication. He's not on the list either. So I don't know what they're thinking. And usually with young people, it's like a 400. They have a list of 400 people because they still have a lot of acquaintances and friends and all that. And they're not doing that. They absolutely are not. But
well, you might want to give them credit for that. They when it comes down to it, when they're looking through their photo album or whatever, that they're like, I'm so glad that these people were there and not other people. I mean, that's
100%. Look, my son is very practical. So I get that. But there is just that, I don't know. I'd love to know what other people's, if they have adult children who were married, how that worked out. But anyway, all right. Well, I've taken up enough of that time.
My wedding was very simple. It was me, my wife, plus 3, the justice of the peace, and the cop and the perp that he had in handcuffs taken to jail at the courthouse. So it was a very, very simple wedding.
Okay, so I want something in between that and the 400-person, $90,000 wedding.
Yeah.
Something in between.
Yeah. Well, you can ask Randy about my wedding. It was a party. I had people drinking out of shoes.
I think I went with him.
Drinking out of shoes.
Yeah. Oh no, we got people drinking out of shoes.
I got you. Yes, and I have in one of my old photo albums or scrapbooks. I think I have your wedding invitation.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
I've got some. I still have some. So I'm the one who saves that kind of stuff. My wife doesn't. I'm the one who kind of saves that stuff. So, yeah, we had a party. But you know what? I will tell you that, and I know that brought my wife and her mother together because they didn't have a whole lot of money, and so they did a lot of big lots type of stuff, Kmart or whatever, buying stuff. And, for they did a lot on their own, and it brought them closer together. And then we donated everything to the Walkersville Fire Hall. So they were just getting ready to, we were one of the first places to do the weddings at the new fire hall back in the day. So they were very appreciative of that. So,
it did. My stepmother and I brought us closer together too, because I actually at the time was working I was a tour director. And I was on the road for 200 days a year. And so she was handling things here. And she would ask me and I'd be like, yeah, whatever. But I was a very easygoing. It wasn't about all that stuff to me. But we made a lot of things. We saved money where we could. And for me, it was just about the party, having the people around you that are important to you. But I told her I invited her best friends from her work that I knew but didn't have a relationship with, but I knew it was important for her to share this day. When you're proud of your kids, you want to share it with the people who are closest even to you, right? And so I guess that is my point too. But anyway, on to other things more important.
So before I get to news, just to defend myself real quick, please, if I may. I know people are probably thinking, well, what was he doing wearing a Jets shirt to a wedding? Just to let you know, it was a dress shirt, a green Jets dress shirt with a New York Jets tie. So I was dressed for the occasion before anybody thinks that I wasn't dressed appropriately for my wedding.
I want to see pictures of your wedding day.
Thank God she married him.
Yeah.
Hey, who doesn't love getting married at a courthouse in front of a beautiful tree? Okay. All right, getting to news here. The trial, and this is sick and sad news. The trial of a former Frederick pediatrician got underway in circuit court on Tuesday. Ernesto Cesar Torres, 74 years old, is charged with sexually abusing dozens of children over several years. The state's attorney's office says jury selection was completed on Tuesday, and a witness for the prosecution took the stand and completed their testimony. The trial is scheduled to resume on Wednesday at 9 a.m. Presiding over the trial is Circuit Court Judge William Nicholas. And as somebody who has 2 young kids, man, that is scary, scary, horrible stuff. The 2025 Maryland General Assembly is nearing the end, and lawmakers have yet to adopt a budget bill. The deadline is March 31st. The state is facing a nearly $3 billion, that's B for billion, deficit for the fiscal year 2026. The governor has submitted a budget with 2/3 cuts and 1/3 revenue generations. Bob and I discussed today that there was a talk of having a business-to-business. I think it was a 2% tax. Governor Westmore said he doesn't support that. And also, they were going to do a sugar tax on sodas, which the governor said, again, he does not support. So we'll see where that goes. Taking a quick look at weather. It's going to be another beautiful day. It's going to be a mix of clouds and sun, but a high of 76. And tonight, we'll have mostly cloudy skies, low 49. And taking a quick look into tomorrow, partly cloudy in the morning, then becoming cloudy with some periods of rain later in the day, looking at a high of 66. And tomorrow night, rain showers early with clearing later on in the night. We're going to look at about a low of 36 tomorrow.
Awesome.
Well, in basketball yesterday, of course, tonight is the big game, but last night Alabama State pulled off a last-second win over St. Francis of Pennsylvania, who the Mountaineers used to play in a different league in the NEC. They advanced to the 64 teams along with North Carolina Tar Heels, who had no problem with San Diego State. They beat them 95-68. Mount St. Mary's tonight against American, both teams 22-12. Dayton, Ohio, on the road to the tournament to get to play number 1 seed Duke Blue Devils. That should be fun. Capitals won last night against the Red Wings, though Alex Ovechkin did not score. Still 8 goals away from breaking Wayne Gretzky's all-time NHL goal record, though he did pick up an assist. And baseball started yesterday, but it didn't start in here on the Continental 48. Nope, it went to Japan. That's where it was. That's where they played. The Dodgers beat the Chicago Cubs. Shohei Ohtani had 2 hits and scored twice, and a 4-1 opening of the Major League Baseball season at the Tokyo Dome. So there you go. That's what happened.
Do that every year? Is that like the football game that they play in the UK? Do they always do that? I never heard that before, I don't think.
That I'm not sure about. Probably something new. Everybody wants to play somewhere else. And then when you got guys who are like, we're getting a lot of Japanese players, and so I guess they want to open that up and entice some of those really good Japanese players to come over here and make really big money.
Yeah, no kidding.
And
no kidding.
I see Bob forgot to mention the Brooklyn Nets, but they did indeed lose last night. However, they are still 6 games better than the last place Washington Wizards, who are 15-52. So,
something to be proud of.
So just there you go. You can find positivity in any stat, I can tell you.
Hey, before we let you go, there was, and I don't have a picture of it. I don't know how to do it. We had a discussion today about something that was on TikTok, that a husband and wife were arguing that he fills up when he does the laundry, he fills up the cup or the little cap, and he just throws the whole thing in into the washing machine. And he says that it says that on whatever detergent he uses. So I went downstairs earlier and I took a picture. It doesn't say so on mine. So I guess he's doing that on his own.
Maybe it depends on what the brand too, Bob.
Here's my thing with that. So our old washers you could start the fill with the lid up, right? Mm-hmm. So you have the water running. I used to, when I used detergent like that and put it in the cup, I used to rinse the cup out and dump the, so that it wasn't all sticky and gross and it was nice and clean. I've never thrown the lid in there. Currently, with my new washer, we have the tray you pull out, and I just I don't even put it in the lid. First of all over TikTok, they say you literally only have to use, especially if you have a high efficiency washer, 2 tablespoons. And when you fill up that cup, you're literally using 3 times more soap than you need. So I just pour it directly. So then I don't have to worry about the cap at all.
Well, however you look at it, cap or no cap, with arguing and husband and wives arguing, apparently you're not supposed to do what I did when you run out of laundry detergent. You throw in dish soap in the washing machine, because that caused an argument between me and my wife that I did not win. So apparently, do not do that. So hey, there you go. Just a little public service out there. Don't make the same mistake.
From the guy who got married in the courthouse.
Under the hanging tree. But he was happy because he knew that, because when he walked in, there was a picture of him hanging on the wall that said most wanted. And he said, "Look, honey, I knew you wanted me so bad."
He didn't know, but
around it.
I was dressed nice with my tie and my dress shirt. So there you go.
There you go.
I love it. All right, gentlemen. Thank you for letting me vent this morning. I will see you guys back here tomorrow.
I'll look for my wedding invitation.
See you later.
A quid pro quo.
That's right. Oh boy, goodness gracious. I'd love to know what you think. I'm sure I'm going to cause a huge rift putting that out. I typically don't, but there you go. All right, we're going to take a quick break. We'll be back with what's happening in Frederick. Plus, we'll hear from Amy Goldsmith from Kindred Nutrition and Diane Foland with FFOCAS. All of that comes up right after this.
Cosmec Healing handcrafted small batch tinctures and transdermal salves. Double third-party tested for quality you can trust. If you've got pain, headaches, or anxiety, our products are here to help you find relief. Patient over profits mindset, 'cause we're patients too. CosmecHealing.com.
Real estate goddess, yeah. She's the one to get you there. Homes and dreams are perfect, yeah. Shannon Flannery beyond compare.
There's no more essential piece of jewelry than your wedding band, and Colonial Jewelers Wedding Band Weekend is the best time to get one. Enjoy the area's largest selection of quality, made-to-last wedding bands in every price range and style, and all on sale. Save an extra $100 on your purchase when you book an appointment, and take advantage of our special financing options. Colonial Jewelers Wedding Band Weekend, March 20th through 22nd. The Colonial Jewelers box. There's just more in it.
All right. And if you're looking for a place to put your messaging, how about considering Warehouse Cinemas? You can be on the big screen in video or just image. I have an image on the screens there, and thousands of people will see your messaging every single week. WarehouseCinemas.com/advertising for more details. All right, let's talk about what is happening in, I didn't get that ready this morning. Wow. I am going to do that right now. Yeah, we've got, I am a little flustered this morning with, kind of always every single day, what's going on. All right, here we go. We've got Intense Barbecue, and I will tell you, Intense Barbecue is sponsoring happening in Frederick. Family-owned barbecue food truck, catering company, and they cook in small batches to ensure the food is as fresh as it can be. When you get their food, you can be sure to satisfy your meat tooth. You can find them at intensebarbecue.com. That's IN, the number 1, the number 0, SEBBQ.com. And here they are right here. Make sure you reach out to them. They've catered a couple of events for me and did an amazing job. And they can do anything, not just barbecue. They did a breakfast for me once, and it was delicious and wonderful. All right, March 20. Oh, what is that? Yeah, March 22nd. That's, this Saturday. All right, Select Second. For some reason, I thought that was way far away. Is having their semi-annual bag sale. They provide the bag. It's $5, and you can put as much as you can into it. Some items, of course, are not included, but most clothing and shoes and other general items are included in that. Great opportunity. I would imagine you're going to want to get there early. I don't know how that works. I've never been, so somebody can maybe let me know. 11 to 4, we're having a pop-up vendor event at the Home of Everything Frederick, 401 North Market Street. We got Sand Dollar Studios. Bethany has handcrafted jewelry that is affordable and beautiful, and she will be set up. If it's nice, we'll be outside. If it's not so nice, we will be inside. Oh, good morning, Christy. I missed you a little bit earlier. And Nick Walker is joining us from We Help You Move. And of course, Michelle Payton is on with us today. Appreciate that so much. All right. So that would be fun this Saturday. Come see us. March 27th, High Rock presents The Craft of Brand Personality at 10th Ward. You need to go to Eventbrite and find details for that. And it is the second annual Battle for South Mountain on March 28th from 7 to 9, presented by Dark Cars Automotive Group. It is the staff from the Brunswick High School feeder schools versus Middletown school staff, and they are playing at Brunswick High School, and it all benefits Frederick County Mental Health Association. I think it's just like $6 to go. So go over there. I think they have a raffle there as well, and you can support 60 years of our Frederick County Mental Health Association. March 29th is the How to Turkey Hunt and Trout Fish event for kids 6 to 17. It is at Catoctin Fish and Game in Myersville. And that is from 8 to 4, and there's free lunch. You can look that up on social media. They did not have a website that I saw, but you'll see the flyer that I have there. You can see that on social media. 11 to 1 that same day is the Seton Center 5K, and that is at Mount St. Mary's and benefits the Seton Center. April 1st, huge show, 9 to 11 a.m. It is our 1-year anniversary. Come out to 401 North Market Street. There are huge things that are going to be happening. I just announced today, just now, 50% off all Good Morning Frederick merch from 9 to 11 a.m. only on that day. And we're going to have a special donation for a nonprofit that is going to benefit, but don't miss it. Either watch online or prepare to stop by 401 North Market Street from 9 to 11 a.m. on April 1st. April 2nd, it is Cocktails and Conversation at the Home of Everything Frederick, one of the best networking groups around. I am biased, but it is small and intimate, and I've had great conversations with people. It's one of those things where it's a small group, so we sit and we really just chat about life. We were able to celebrate Ryan's baby being born, and we find out some of the great projects people are working on, and we really have a deeper connection rather than, hey, it's me, here's my business card, call me, let's set up a meeting. It's very, very casual and relaxed. We typically order some pizzas and have a couple drinks, which, we're happy to provide. And we'd love to see you at the first Wednesday of every month, 5 to 7 p.m. April 5th from 10 to noon, Youth Fishing Rodeo on Color Lake. They suggest you bring your own equipment, but this is great for kids, and it's free. 11 to 1, we're doing a sip, sample, and shop. And that is with Neora. I'm going to learn all about Neora products with Lori Owens. They are a clean and results-driven beauty product company, and she says the stuff works, and her photos before and after look pretty daggone good. So come on out. It is free. We'll have some mimosas and enjoy that. April 6th from 12:30 to 4:30 is FFOCAS Cash Bingo. We're going to hear from Diane Foland a little bit later in the show, but $200 per game cash prize. That's pretty darn good. April 10th, 6:30 to 8:30, it is Take Back the Night at Hood College, supportive and empowering space for all survivors of power-based violence. April 12th is a disc golf tournament, and that looks like so much fun. That benefits the Seton Center. You can register at discgolfscene.com. April 14th, starting then, is our Good Morning Frederick countywide adult egg hunt. We will have 300 eggs hidden around the county. Your locations and your hints are released on the Good Morning Frederick Facebook page at 9 a.m. on April 14th. Prizes include $500 cash, 100 Maryland Lottery scratch-offs, tons of gift cards, including McClintock Distilling, Terrapin Travel, Intense Barbecue, 10th Ward, Auto Spa, 7th Street Cafe and Red Horse Steakhouse, and Starvin' Marvin, 10th Ward, and more. Want to thank all of those sponsors and advertisers for that. And you're going to get some every egg has a prize, every single one. So it will pay to find one. April 19th to 26th, it is Thermont Restaurant Week. April 24th is SHIP's annual lip sync battle. All right, they have 9 teams registered, which is going to be awesome. Now you need to buy your tickets. It's $55, includes your food, and it is Boxcar Burgers is doing the food, and all of your drinks, whether they are adult beverages or not. It includes everything and supports an amazing cause, of course. ShipFrederick.com for tickets. April 26th is Andrea's House Rise and Renew Gala. And already we're talking about May, but I'm putting this on there because you want to register now for the 5th annual 4 for Sore Golf Classic at Musket Ridge. Again, another great organization helping our seniors. All right. If you have an event you want to include it on the calendar, please email it to me, everythingfredericklive@gmail.com, and I'll be sure to put it on the Everything Frederick calendar as well. Would be happy to mention it on the show. All right. One more quick break, and then we are going to hear from Amy Goldsmith from Kindred Nutrition Kinetics and Diane Foland with FFOCAS. And that bingo, we're going to find out more about that as well. That comes up just after this. Travel better with Antietam World Travel Service, your gateway to worry-free journeys. With their extensive network, unmatched experience, and personalized services, you can explore the world with confidence and ease. When you work with Antietam World Travel Service, you get convenience, experience, and connections. Go to AntietamTravel.com now and get started on your dream vacation.
Dream Free Art, Frederick's first and only splatter room. New location, new beginner-friendly artful shenanigans for all ages. Come fling paint and make a masterpiece in Dream Free Art's splatter room, or join us for a fun and unique art experience. Book your next birthday party, corporate event, date night, or family outing at dreamfreeart.com to unleash your inner artist today. Dream Free Art. Free your creativity.
A&S Construction is a local and award-winning woman and minority-owned business located right here in Frederick. Sandra works with women in trades, the building industry, the chamber, and all kinds of other organizations to really talk about being a woman in this male-dominated industry, but growing very quickly with women-owned businesses. I love it. A&S Construction specialize in roofing, siding, windows. They can also fix up your gutters, patios, and decks. You may want your gutters looked at. We're getting ready for April showers, and all that rain, if you've got clogged gutters, can cause issues for your home's foundation. So you can just give her a call, 301-703-2157, or you can email her info@ansconstruction.net. She'll come take a look and make sure all of that is taken care of for you, and make sure you are, where you need to be in your house is not going to have any issues at all. All right, let's talk about who is making our market as good as it is here in Frederick. Market Makers is sponsored by Maryland Lottery. Tons of ways to win. Hot scratch-offs like Big Money, where a $5 ticket could net you $50,000, or the $2 Monopoly ticket with a top prize of $10,000. Go to mdlottery.com for all the details. Plus, you should download the app where you can scan your tickets to see if they're winners, and you can also find places to redeem your winning tickets. Remember, you must be 18 or older to play, and to please play responsibly. All right, I went over and I met Amy from Kindred Nutrition and Kinetics. I am absolutely enamored, fascinated by nutrition all of a sudden. I don't know what it is, maybe the age or whatever, but I am trying to cut out all of the bad stuff I can. I'm going to be posting on social soon about my gardening journey. Wait till you see what I have set up with my plants. So we'll talk about all that soon. But anyway, I'm really fascinated by trying to eat clean. And Amy gave me some good pointers. Here she is.
On Toll House Avenue, I'm with Amy. Kindred
Nutrition and Kinetics.
What is the kinetics part?
So movement, I thought that, I work a lot with nutrition, but movement is so important, so we kind of threw that in a couple of years ago.
Okay. Well, welcome to Good Morning, Frederick.
Thank you.
Amy has been doing this for a long time in Frederick as well. Are you from this area?
I'm not. Originally, I'm from upstate New York.
Wow.
Yes, and then I went to Virginia Tech for college and then migrated to the Maryland area.
Well, you just
kind of
chose a place kind of in between
yes.
the two. All right, your true focus right now, you were telling me, is athletes. So you work a lot with athletes with their nutrition, diet, and all of that sort of stuff.
Yep.
Are you an athlete yourself?
I am. I mean, I'm older, so
Doesn't mean
I'm not at my prime anymore, I guess.
Right,
but yes, I do local CrossFit about 5 to 6 times a week, and
that's
run,
not like
walk.
that's a lot. That's great. Yeah. And so when someone comes to you, are they trying to really just hone their athletic skill utilizing nutrition to do that?
Yeah, I think, everybody has different goals. So from sports nutrition, I see a variation of ages. So high school athletes, a lot of time, they're more at that elite point where they know they want to move towards college.
Yeah.
And so we will meet and kind of see how we can use nutrition to help them with their performance and recovery, either lean out or gain mass, which will give them strength.
Yeah.
And then my older folks around my age or so, a lot of runners, triathletes, CrossFitters, our bodies change. So we're trying to adapt to see what can we change to, kind of have that balance and, still be able to perform.
Yeah, and you were also talking about how you collaborated with some other providers right under this roof on Toll House Avenue. You can help people with eating disorders, and you have all the things, so the therapy and everything that they would need to help get them through that struggle.
Yes, we have 3 dietitians right now. We have a nutrition coach, so the nutrition coach kind of takes over and helps with the action-oriented things in between appointments.
Okay.
And then we have a therapist as well who can help with behavioral change, processing thoughts and feelings, and how they interact with actions and that sort of thing.
What are if you had to give the general public just kind of 3 things we can do as normal everyday people, maybe we're not athletes, but we like to walk, we like to be active.
Yeah.
What are the 3 changes we can make just to help our bodies be better?
Yeah, that's a great question. I feel like I say this all the time, so people who know me are going to be like, oh, we've heard that before. But I think the first thing that we should all be focusing on is how much fruits and vegetables we eat in a day. As a nation, we're not even close to our fiber needs, and fiber helps to regulate our GI system, but it helps with the gut microbiome, which helps with that brain-gut connection.
Okay.
Lots of antioxidants, so about 5 fruits and vegetables a day. That's the first thing.
I mean, I love fruits and vegetables, so that's funny. So people are just not eating enough.
Isn't that interesting?
That is very interesting.
Yeah.
Is it, and then of course, I think this country shifts every 5 to 10 years. It's like, you're eating too many fruits. Now you're not eating enough. You're eating too much of this. But certainly you can never go wrong, right, with fruits and vegetables?
I don't think so. I think right now some of the messaging is confusing because people think of fruits and sugar, but it's natural sugar.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Exactly. Okay, so that's a good one. More fruits and vegetables. What else?
I think the next thing is hydration. So I think it's something that people don't think of when they think about nutrition.
Yeah.
But I think there's a lot of people who go through the day in a chronically dehydrated state, right? And it can cause fatigue, it can cause joint pain, it can affect our, digestion, which can be uncomfortable. So at least starting at about like 8 cups of water a day.
Yeah. What is it? So there's a TikTok trend right now with the Celtic salt in the water.
Oh, I haven't seen that
You haven't
yet.
seen it?
No.
Okay, so Gary Brecka.
Okay.
I don't know if you know him. He does a lot with nutrition and stuff too. Has said that drinking not table salt, but the Celtic salt, whatever it is, Baja Gold is what he talks about. Anyway, is really good because the sodium in that actually helps the body. Do you know anything about those sorts of things?
So I think electrolytes are really popular right now, and they're necessary for some people. I think that when I think about how electrolytes can help us replete our hydration or maintain hydration, we really need sodium, potassium, magnesium, and calcium all together.
Yeah, he talks about that's the stuff he talks about. Because magnesium, I know, is really good for digestive and all of that as well.
Yes, digestion, sleep, joint pain again.
Yeah.
Yes, muscle contractions.
And then again, there's a lot of different things out there, depending who you listen to. Certain vitamin supplements. They say some are totally worthless.
Yes.
Others are really good.
Yes, yes.
Do you have any that you recommend that you know are better than others?
So I'm a big fan of getting our vitamins and minerals from food.
Right.
If we can,
Yeah, I guess
right?
you would be.
Yeah. And then of course, if there are deficiencies, absolutely, we can look at, restoring the deficiency. I really try to look for vitamins and minerals that are USP or NSF certified.
Okay.
Because that just basically means, well, there's a lot more to it, but I'm going to simplify it. There's a third-party regulation, so you know that what you're taking is actually in it. So,
okay. Yeah, that's good advice, because you want to do good things, right?
I know.
You want it, and you don't want to waste money.
Yes.
And
yes.
it makes me sick to think of the number of things I might have taken in the past that were just doing nothing.
I know.
No good.
I know.
No good at all. So if you want magnesium, what did you say? Those
magnesium, calcium, potassium, and sodium.
Okay. Mm-hmm. What foods can we eat to get those?
Well, I mean, your fruits and vegetables are going to check off a lot of the boxes.
Okay.
You have nuts. I think one of the things that's interesting with nuts, though, is it's kind of become kind of that super food. So we do have to keep an eye on the portion, because they are high calories, high fat, right?
Yeah.
So, and really kind of getting that variety of color in your fruits and vegetables, you can kind of get a lot from that.
Yeah, that's good. Okay, so we did that, and that is our third thing?
Let's see. I think the third thing is really kind of taking inventory of what you're eating in an entire day. So I think a lot of times we're kind of conditioned to kind of think of food as like good or bad and think of it just at each meal. But, you can look at what an entire day is and kind of make up for what your losses were. So I like to think of adding what you need instead of punishing yourself for what you think you didn't do right.
Right. Yeah, and I always say everything in moderation, right? Because I think mentally, if you say, I'm not eating any more cake ever, then you're like crave it.
Yes.
Then when you do eat it, you overindulge and you feel terrible. So I'm always like, have a little bite.
Absolutely.
Have a little bit, because
Absolutely.
you should never keep yourself from that. 'Cause
I
think
agree.
mentally it's way worse.
Yes.
Way worse. So if someone wanted to come here, how would they reach out to you? And I know you have a specialty, so do you have other people for someone just like me who might not be an athlete or anything like that?
Yeah, I mean, we definitely see other people too who have like GI issues. We see like POTS, other couple of pre-diabetes, different diagnoses. So I do have a website, so it's kindrednutrition.com.
Okay.
And you can click right at the top there to book a call, and you get a screen with me, 15-minute screen, so we can kind of talk about things.
Yeah.
If I don't think that you're a good fit for me, I know kind of everybody, because I've been around for a long time.
That's great.
I can refer you to the right place.
Yeah. And are you seeing an increase in any of these like GI issues and eating disorders? And I know we were talking about it before, it kind of goes in peaks and waves, but what are you seeing as the expert in this?
Yeah, I think that I'm definitely seeing changes with the GI system. And I think, it plays into the lack of fiber, multiple supplements that aren't needed, too much of one thing and not enough of the other.
Right.
And I also think that physicians are getting a lot better at screening for that. So I think that when they notice there's more GI issues, we're getting more referrals, which is great.
Yeah.
I have and I do continue to see an increase in eating disorders.
Yeah.
Social media, I think, plays a big role in
Sure.
that.
Yeah.
And so, of all ages.
Yeah.
So I would say when I started 15 years ago versus now, I see eating disorders at a much younger age. So starting more at like 9, where I used to see it at 13.
Yeah.
Yeah.
As a parent, what, because it's difficult when your child, when you notice these changes and you see things going on, how can a parent help their child? What's the best thing for them to do?
That's a great question, because I think that's the hardest thing is, a lot of times I think as parents, and I'm a parent as well, we will notice something and we don't want to overreact, right? So we'll kind of,
we
tiptoe around it, right?
We certainly do, because you get the defensive reaction from your kid, which really actually should trigger the fact that there's really something going on.
Yes.
And then so you're trying to do it in a nice, friendly way.
Yeah. And I think that really when it comes to eating disorders, every single minute that they're activated in their thought process, they are establishing a pattern that's hard to break.
Yeah.
So really, I think it's right away, really providing the love and support and recognizing, hey, this is something that is out of my league, and getting that specialist as soon as possible.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I know that's got to be tough.
It is.
But you're right, because the further they get in it, the harder it is to break.
Yeah.
Because it is that kind of constant repetition in your mind.
Mm-hmm.
And we all do it. Mm-hmm. It's just some people react differently and take on that control a little bit differently too.
Right.
Well, we love that you're here in Frederick, helping so many people. Who are the biggest athletes you know? Anybody we would know?
Well, I'm not working with anybody professional right now, but I would say if you look at some of the top performers within FCPS, most of them have been here or working with us now.
I love it. Yeah. I love it. Well, we love that you're helping them get to the next level, and I think that that's amazing, and helping people recover from some of these issues. I mean, I know with pre-diabetes, I know that's a big thing now. There's a lot of younger people who are developing diabetes earlier.
Yes.
And do you work at all, or does anyone from FCPS, like the lunch people? Because I know that's a big thing.
I know.
But what can we do, again, as a parent, if you see this starting? How hard is it to get kids back on the right track?
I think the quicker, the easier it is, right?
Yeah.
So, and I think, really modeling the appropriate kind of behavior, which is really difficult to do, but and recognizing that it's not a character defect. Their brain is kind of needs a little bit of rewiring.
Yeah.
So patience is a big thing for parents, because it's really, really scary.
Yeah.
And accepting that the parent does play a big role in it too. So even when you start to work with a dietitian or a therapist, there's a lot of work that you have to do at home.
Yeah.
So just knowing, okay, if I take this on now, fast and furious, it will hopefully be more short term.
Yeah. And a lot of that, I mean, when my kids were little, it was about letting them help prepare meals, letting them choose the meals, and guiding what's healthier, or what's better, or making it fun, that they could pick out something. And again, not eliminating some of the fun stuff, but just making the better stuff a bigger part of it.
Right.
So
the balancing act.
Yeah, that's awesome. Well, we really do appreciate you. If you guys want to reach out for your consultation, it's kindrednutrition.com.
Yes.
And you can contact Amy or her team. And if she can't help, she'll pass you along to somebody who can. But if you're an athlete and you want to be at the top with your nutrition, she can help you definitely with that. So thank you so much.
Thanks for having me.
Thank you guys so much for watching.
Oh, yeah. I could talk for hours to these nutritionists and dietitians. I think Amy is super smart and has been doing this a long time, and can help if you need it. All right, let's talk about who's doing good in our neighborhood. Doing Good in the Neighborhood is sponsored by the Healing Storm Holistic Wellness. Shannon and her team strive to make sure you are seen, heard, and valued. The Healing Storm focuses on alternative, holistic healing methods to relieve your stress and pain. Massage therapy, Reiki, lymphatic massage, and a healing journey program. Check out thehealingstorm.com for more details and to schedule an appointment. Well, we're back with our good friend Diane Foland from FFOCAS, Friends of our Frederick County Animal Shelter. They got a cash bingo coming up, and you could win $200 a game, which is a pretty good payout. Here she is. I'm with our friend Diane Foland from FFOCAS, Friends of our Frederick County Animal Shelter.
That's right. You got it.
All right. Today we are talking bingo. You guys are doing a fundraiser to raise money to help cover, I know it's like for a lot of the medical expenses for some of the animals that come in, especially if they need to be fostered outside of the shelter. Diane, welcome to Good Morning Frederick. Let's talk about the bingo you have.
Absolutely. Well, we're so excited about it. It's our annual bingo that we do each year, and it keeps getting bigger and better every year. And so this year it's on April 6th at the Elks Lodge on Willowdale Drive in Frederick. It's a cash bingo. And this year, each game is giving away $200 per game to the winner.
Whoa.
So bigger and better. And so we're so excited about it.
That is awesome. That's a pretty big cash prize per game.
Yes.
So how can people get their tickets?
Yeah, I'm so glad you asked. So, of course, you can get your tickets on Eventbrite. If you just, look up Focus Cash Bingo, it'll pop up. But we're also offering to get tickets in cash if people want to save on those Eventbrite fees. And one of those dates on March 29th from 10 to 4 at TLC Bridal. And you don't have to do that. That's just if you want to avoid those Eventbrite fees. But you can get your tickets 24/7 on Eventbrite.
Oh, excellent. Raising money for a great cause. Remind our viewers a little bit about your organization Focus, and other than obviously attending these sorts of events, how the community can support you.
Sure. So our organization, as you said, works to help pay the medical bills of the pets at the Frederick County Animal Shelter that aren't otherwise covered by taxes. Those things that are above and beyond the basic care, we come in and help take care of those things to make the pet more comfortable and make the pet more adoptable. And we also help rehome pets before they even ever have to get to the shelter to help preserve the shelter's resources. And we also provide support through advice for pet care. If families are having some behavioral challenges with the pet, we also offer resources for that, again, to avoid the pet coming to the shelter. So our goal is to help the pets that are at the shelter and try to prevent more pets from going to the shelter when possible. And then we have our Cats with Character foster cat program as well. So that's where all the money goes.
Yeah.
And so
you guys do a couple big fundraisers a year. You just had your runway show with the at Warehouse Cinemas not too long ago. You do your big fundraiser toward the end of the year. You had a giveaway for free groceries for a year from Common Market, which is awesome. So it's really important. Again, you can have some fun, you can win some money, but your ultimate goal is to raise money for helping to keep our animals, first of all, out of the shelter. And if they come into the shelter and need some additional medical needs or certain toys or specialized things, that's where Focus comes in.
That's exactly right. You said it perfectly. And yes, we had the best time at our Critters on the Catwalk fashion show. We had an amazing turnout. And it was so fun to see all the dogs on the runway and work with the local boutiques to see the gorgeous outfits that they provided. So that was really a special night. And we're looking forward to doing that again next year as well. That was our first year for this, but we're so excited to do it again next year.
Oh, yeah, I think it's great. And we're looking forward to helping you and supporting you throughout the year. So right now, go to Eventbrite, look that up on Eventbrite, get your tickets. $200 per game is one of the biggest cash prizes I've seen around for a bingo fundraiser. So is there going to be anything else, any sort of raffles or anything else? Or it's 100%, we're focused on the bingo and you can buy your extra cards and do your extra games and all that good stuff?
Oh, I'm glad you asked because we are having many raffle baskets available and some amazing prizes. And this year we're doing something different. We're actually offering a mystery prize that's $300 value, and we have it all wrapped up. And so it sounds kind of funny, but we thought we'd try something different where you'd raffle on the mystery prize. And then at the end of the bingo, we're going to reveal what that mystery prize is. But we can say it's a $300 value prize. And we also have some generous donors like Visitation Hotel in downtown Frederick donated a free night stay.
Whoa, that would be nice.
Yes, a nice little getaway. And so we have some really generous businesses in our community that have not only sponsored the games, but have donated some amazing prizes to raffle on. We will be doing a 50-50 raffle, and we will have tip jars as well and a bake sale. And we're also partnering with a local Etsy shop owner this year who's selling animal themed stickers, and she's giving 100% of the profits of the stickers back to us from Provocative Print. So we're really grateful to her as well. So many businesses helping us out and making it a fun day for everyone.
Well, that's fantastic. All right, I'll make sure all the details are on screen. Go support, have a great time, maybe win some money, and help support our local animal shelter. Diane, we appreciate you and everything you and your organization do to help our pets. And we know it's a kind of nonstop thing you guys have to do, but hopefully we can help by not having so many animals taken to the shelter by supporting you. So thank you so much.
Thank you so much for your time and hosting.
All right. Want to thank her for that. That's going to be a lot of fun. I wonder if I can go to that. I like bingo. I don't win all the time, but every now and then. All right. That is it for our show today. Head over to our socials. Good Morning Frederick's Facebook page. I'm going to be giving away tickets to the Flying Cows for Friday night's game, and would love to see you. If you want those tickets, you're just going to have to text, and hopefully we'll select you as our winners. We got plenty of tickets, though, so head over there. Otherwise, I will see you right here tomorrow. Let's get out there. Let's have a great day. Enjoy the gorgeous weather, and let's be great.